Perfect. Perfect.
All right, everybody, what's going on? How y'all doing? Welcome to another edition of SWAC Talk. This is a show we cover the SWAC inside and out. I'm your tour guide around the SWAC. See what's coming at you. And the coaching carousel continues. We finally got some clarity and closure on the Alcorn Fred McNair situation. We'll talk about him and TSU as that develops. That situation is still fluid. Last time I saw a few minutes ago, word was that Texas Southern has not made that offer to him yet. So we'll wait on that and cover that when it happens. This is all about Alcorn, Fred McNair leaving, Cedric Thomas entering, and we're gonna talk about all of that. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it, hit that join button to become a member. Just keep in mind, around the beginning of the year, we're gonna start giving out some free memberships so you can check it out and see if that's something that you would like to do. We got some new perks that we're working on. We're gonna have some members only videos. We're gonna have our members only group chat that you can become a part of if you join. We have 2 tiers, so make sure you check that out. Also hit the socials. We got our 2023 season recaps coming up, where they're ongoing, and you can get info on when each episode drops. I'm gonna announce it basically like the night before, so keep it locked to the socials. Facebook is Swag Talk, Instagram Swag Talk, Twitter Swag Talk 76. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I think I'm gonna try to do it at 8 p.m. We're gonna go live for our signing day update, recap, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna talk about the early signing day. Tomorrow is the first day of the early signing period, but it's typically the day that's more active than other days. So we'll talk about some things on that tomorrow, and anything else that you want to talk about. It's not swag smoke. It's gonna be swag talk. So make sure y'all come rock with us, and we still will have swag smoke on Thursday live, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. So with that being said, man, let's go ahead and jump into this. This was a situation that had been kind of bouncing around for a while. If you know, once Coach McKinney's contract was they decided that they would not renew his contract at Texas Southern. Coach McNair's name came up in the hunt for that job, and it's been kind of like a back and forth thing. I think Alcorn tried to make some concessions with him and give him an offer that he couldn't refuse, and he decided to refuse it, and so he's heading. We don't know. I mean, we're probably most people are pretty sure that he's going to end up at Texas Southern eventually, but right now, that position is still remains to be seen. So we're not even going to worry about that right now. This is all about the events that took place today, and when I say that, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean they were events that happened. So we'll start off with the statement that Alcorn released this afternoon, and it goes, I would like to thank Coach Fred McNair for his many years of service and dedication to Alcorn State University. We worked diligently to extend Coach McNair a multi-year contract, which would have placed him in the top tier of the conference with both compensation incentives and additional incentives for assistant coaches, said Robert Raines, interim director of intercollegiate athletics. Unfortunately, we could not reach a mutual agreement. Coach McNair led Alcorn to seven. He led them for 7 seasons and led the team to 4 SWAC East titles and a pair of SWAC championships. He holds a 38-17 record at Alcorn, 69% winning percentage on the Alcorn sidelines, while posting an overall record of 48 and 34 overall for 58% winning percentage. Last season, the Braves finished 7-4 with a 6-2 conference record. The Alcorn State University family deeply appreciates Coach McNair for his exceptional leadership to the university, student athletes, and his commitment to excellence on the field, in the classroom, and community. The university is especially appreciative of his unique legacy as a player and a coach in elevating not only the football program, but also the university. The university wishes Coach McNair well in his future endeavors. So that basically sums it up. This was a situation where both sides met. They tried to work some things out, just couldn't really come to an agreement. And when you do that, sometimes you mutually have to agree to, like the song say, let's just kiss and say goodbye. So they kind of mutually parted ways. And now that led to opening at Alcorn, but they did not hesitate. They knew the guy that they wanted, and that guy was Cedric Thomas, the defensive coordinator at Alcorn. He becomes the 22nd head coach at Alcorn. No interim, just straight head coach. This is a guy. If you watched my SWAC Smoke episode last week, G from SWAC and the Fool came on there, and he basically said, Cedric Thomas is the guy that he wants. And if you saw his stream today, then you know that was the guy that he wanted. And a couple other people I know, said that. I felt the same way. I think he's a hell of a coach. I think he's a guy who is gonna, keep the ship righted, and gonna continue to further the growth of this program. I really do like this hire a lot. I think that this is, he's a guy who has a nice coaching background as an assistant coach. He has some success as a head coach. He did some things on the JUCO level and on the FCS SWAC level. So he's a guy who's gonna come in. He's gonna work hard. He's gonna have those. He's gonna maintain the discipline of the program. He's gonna hold guys accountable. He's gonna mold guys into men. And you really can't go wrong with this. So let's kind of look at who Cedric Thomas is. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys know the name, and you probably already know who he is. But let's just kind of make our way through this. Um, like I said, I think you can't really ask for a better guy in this situation. Primarily the first good thing is you didn't drag this out. Yes, the negotiations and everything for Coach McNair were kind of back and forth, and that took some time. But you didn't waste any time hiring a coach, and that keeps things going because you really find yourself in a position to where you need to sign the early signing period is this week. You don't want to really hesitate too long. You got guys on campus, coaches recruiting, you're getting commitments. You want to keep that continuity, and it's not necessarily hiring a guy because he was the coach there to keep the continuity, because that doesn't always work out for you. It's really hiring a guy who can get the job done. And you really can't go wrong with a guy like this. Um, he's gonna do a great job here. And so let's go ahead and kind of look at who he is and where he's headed and where he's been. He played at Pine Bluff, um, and Mississippi Delta Community College. He played at Mississippi Delta Community College in 1997 and 1998, and he played at Pine Bluff from 99 to 2000. He was a defensive back in that time. He began his coaching career as a graduate assistant at Alcorn in the 2001 season. So as soon as his playing days were over, he hopped right up and took a position at Alcorn. So he's been at Alcorn for stretches of his program, for stretches of his career. So from Alcorn, he went to Tennessee Martin as a running back coach in 2002. From there, he went to Mississippi Delta as defensive coordinator from '03 to '04. He stayed in the junior college realm, and from '05 to '06 at Itawamba uh, Community College. He coached the defensive backs there. He went back to Mississippi Delta again as the defensive coordinator from '07 to 2011. From 2012 to 2015, he coached defensive backs at Alcorn. And 2016 and 2017, he coached defense coordinator at Alcorn before he took the position at Pine Bluff in 2018 and 2019 as the head coach. He left there and went to Southern Miss in 2020. In 2020, went to coach defensive backs at Southern Miss. From there, he went to Mississippi Delta in 2021 to take over the football program as the head coach there. And then he went back to Alcorn in 2022 to take over the defensive coordinator position. His time at Pine Bluff, he did a great job there. I mean, if you look at the record, 2-9 his first year, 1-6 in conference, 6-5 the next year, 3-4 in conference. Those records don't look great, but when you look at what Pine Bluff was, they were in the midst of a 4 or 5 year heavy losing streak. Coming off of that 2012 championship, they went completely downhill, and so he had to basically revamp and revive that program. And that 2019 team, they won some big games. They beat Tennessee State on the road. They beat Alabama A&M on the road. If he would have stayed at Pine Bluff and they had a 2020 season, this team probably would have been playing for a championship because they won the SWAC West in 2021 in the spring, and a lot of those guys were his guys. So, I think that if he stayed there at that point, he may have been a guy who could have won a division championship at Pine Bluff even before that time. One thing that stands out to me is the way he holds his guys accountable. I remember 2019 at Pine Bluff, they played Southern and they got a big interception, and the guys, the game was close and they had an opportunity to kind of make some things happen, and they ended up getting a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for that celebration. And any coach would really be upset about it, and when they asked him about it, he basically he stated that he doesn't like that kind of stuff because he's trying to mold these guys into being responsible men. And yes, you can say any coaches can say that, but the way the conviction was in his voice, it made you realize that he's really building these guys and they getting them to buy in. Because when you take over a program that's losing and you start to turn them around, you gotta kind of weed out the bad things. And he was well on his way to doing that, and ending up at Southern Miss off of that position shows that he was a guy who was on the up and up. So that's only a great thing, to kind of take into account, because that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a guy to keep things going and to just make sure that you continue to develop guys. And just the reaction from the team shows that this was a guy that they really were looking forward to playing for. So you can't go wrong with that. And like I said, his time at Mississippi Delta, he was only there for 1 year. They went 5-6. 5-4 in his time there, 3-3 in conference. They finished third in their division. Mississippi Delta, if you don't really know, is a program who had been really, really bad in previous seasons. They were 3-6 in 2019. 2020, the year before he got there, then in a COVID shortened season, they finished 0-4. So to take a team who had been losing for multiple years, even if you go back to the 2016, 2017, 2018, this team was losing bad. And he took them to a 5-win season. So he has an ability to turn things around, and Alcorn is not a team that needs to be turned around, but he has a team now that he can mold in his image, and he's gonna get the job done. Great coach. I mean, I can't say anything any higher than that. And I'm typically a guy that doesn't go gung ho over coaching hires, because I feel like any coach can be a great coach. You bring them in, they could be a bad coach. You just never know. But from the job that he did at Pine Bluff, I was a fan from then. So I can't speak on further than that because I wasn't really in tune to him. But when he got to Pine Bluff and the job that he did there, especially in 2019, and the work he did at Mississippi Delta, and the testimonies of guys who played for him at those spots. Those are are things that are glowing endorsements, and you can't go wrong with that in this situation. This is not a team that fired a coach. This is a team who coach decided to leave, due to they couldn't come to agreement. So he has a team that was 7-4 and basically one game from the SWAC championship. Returns a lot of talent. He's familiar with the team. They recruiting their butts off, and they're gonna bring in a great class this week. So I think that keeps Alcorn in the mix. Whenever the Fred McNair Texas Southern thing happens, that also boosts the power around the conference. The West is gonna be the Wild Wild West as per usual. I think the ceiling of the division is going to be raised more, and I mean the competitiveness is still going to be there. But um, I like this hire a lot, man. I can't even say how much I like this hire. I think it's great. I love the way that they didn't mess around. I love the way Alcorn knew that this, when this didn't happen, they had a plan already in place and they enacted on it. That's how you handle a coaching vacancy. If you don't need to do anything, then you go ahead and promote from within. And that's what they did. And they got the guy that they wanted, they got the guy that they needed, and now they're back on track. So with that being said, Fred McNair out mutually at Alcorn. Cedric Thomas enters as head coach, and we'll see what the Braves do from here. So with that being said, I'm your tour guide around the SWAC signing out. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to be live. I'm planning on 8 p.m. Central for our signing day recap, review, whatever you want to call it. And with that being said, man, I'm up out of here, y'all. Enjoy y'all evening, and I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.